All right, so in this video, I'm going to do a quick example of the indexOf string method. So indexOf is used to search inside of strings, okay? So first example I'm going to give is, so I have this string here called blah, 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 okay? So if I do, if I do system.out.println s.indexOf, and in this case what you're going to pass in is you're going to pass for a sequence of character or characters that you're looking for, okay? So I'm going to just put in the letter B, okay? Now we see that B is definitely in the string, and it's here, it's actually here in 3 places. It's at the 0th spot, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's at 5, and it's at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's at 0, 5, and 10. All right? So when I run this, you'll see that it's going to return to me the first occurrence of where that B is. Okay? So that's 0. All right? Now, I can pass in a second argument to the indexOf method that tells me where to start my search. So if I leave it off, by default, it's going to start at the beginning of the string. But I can say, you know what? Instead of looking for the B at the very start of the string, let's look at it starting here, like where the L is. Or let's look at it starting here, okay? So if I was to pass in a second value here, and so I'll say I'm going to start looking at position 1. So in other words, I'm going to start looking from where this L is, okay? Then you'll see when I run it that, so for the first one, the B is looking from the beginning, so it finds it in position 0. Now, because I'm starting at position 1, it says, all right, look for the first occurrence starting here. So it goes here, 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 here. Oh, there it is, okay? And it returns you the 5 because that is in position 5, okay? Now, you can also, instead of just looking for single letters, I can look for full-on strings. Okay, so I could actually look for the entire string blah. Okay, and again, you'll see that if I compile and run this, looking for the entire string blah starting at position 1, it says, okay, well, I'm starting here, so do I see blah? No, blah, no, blah, no, blah, no, blah. Oh, here it is. There's blah. Okay, so that's at position 5, okay? And finally, if I say, all right, let's imagine that I looked for a string that is just not there. Okay, so let's say that instead of looking for blah, I looked for foo, okay? Now, foo is nowhere in here. So if I compile and run this, that returns me a -1. Okay, so in other words, if s.indexOf returns a -1, then that means that the string that I was looking for is not anywhere in the source string. Okay, so we use this indexOf to, like, for example, if you wanted to look for more than one occurrence of a string in something. So, like, for example, let's say that I ask the question, all right, tell me whether or not this string has more than one instance of blah, okay? Well, the way that you could do that is you could say, first, I'm going to say s.indexOf blah, and I'm not going to use any arguments because I want to see if it occurs there at all, right? So, and instead of printing that out, I'm going to assign that to a variable. So I'll say int position 1, okay, equals s.indexOf blah. Okay, and then what I can do is I can do another s.indexOf blah, and in this case, I'll pass in position 1 plus 1. Okay, so in other words, I'm going to get the first occurrence of blah, wherever that is. So in this example, it would be at position 0. Okay, and then afterwards, I'm going to again look for the string blah starting at position 1 plus 1. So in other words, I'd start here and I look for it to see if it occurs again. All right? So if I make this position 2, all right, then I can do system.out.println. And you will see that in this case, position 2 is 5 because position 1 would be 0 where the first blah was, and then position 2 would be 5 for the next one. And if I did this a third time, let's say I made this position 3, so now position 2 plus 1, okay? This would find if there's a third instance of blah, okay? And so if I compiled that and ran it, you'll see that sure enough, position 3 is at 10 because there is a third blah. There's a blah at position 0, there's a blah at position 5, and there's a blah at position 10. So using this, you can indexOf is to basically search through strings and find where these characters that you're looking for are found in the string. And of course, if it's not found anywhere, like in this example with the foo, it's going to return -1. So that's how you use indexOf.